Good afternoon guys, and welcome back to the channel. And we're picking you guys up from right where we left off last week, which is at the campsite here in North Yorkshire. And we're going to be doing a very nerve-wracking drive now down about an hour and a half to 2 hours to Nick's sister
in Huddersfield.
If you watched last week, you'll know that we're kind of very worried about the van as we've had issues over the last few days since replacing our whole axle. Everything was good, and then something's not quite right, so a bit of a nervous drive, but let's see how we go.
Hopefully the Christmas jumpers will bring us some luck.
Yeah, we've got our Christmas attire on underneath, and as you can see, Nick's very festive. But yeah, it's a nice day. So it's been raining all morning and the sun has come out now, so at least that's on our side for our drive down down south today. How's it going then?
We're driving, aren't we? We're driving, so we've got to be happy with that. Yeah, so we're just going to see how we go. We're making good time, not going too fast. It seems to be when we're slowing down in gear, bit of a sound. And I don't think it's just friction from the gears, obviously slowing the vehicle down, but take it out of gear, he's smooth. He's never been quite right, but I'm not sure whether he's less quite right than he was before. Good afternoon guys, and we are now in the Peak District. We made it here. We stopped off to see my sister. That journey went okay. We just spent the last couple of days at my sister's house, parked on the driveway with a plug-in again, so it's nice to have the heating on. It's lovely to catch up with my sister. Did get out, I did go for a little walk with my sister and her daughter, and we took out the dogs. Well, only Charlie, and Charlie's still not talking to me now because it was raining. It was miserable weather.
Dizzee and I stayed in the van. That was a really good move.
Ah, are they, Charlie? So yeah, it's nice to catch up with family, and now we've left there. We've only driven for half an hour and we're in the Peak District.
In the north, right in the very north.
Right in the very north of the Peak District. It's windy outside, a bit of blue sky, but yeah, the van, we're still very worried about the van. We're
still very worried about the van. I mean, obviously it got from North Yorkshire to Huddersfield. He's driving okay, but we've got a noise in the diff at the back. It's like a whining kind of noise.
It's like a whirring, whining when we're accelerating. It's okay. So you know, when we're just driving with the accelerator on, you can't really hear anything.
But anyways, we've stopped here for lunch because we're kind of on our way down towards Chester now to my brother.
It's only an hour and a half. We just took a slight detour through the Peak District to break up the journey and just to see this far north end. Oh, look at that.
This is what we need. We need a nice hot meal. We've got some lentil bolognese that we've just rustled up with some spinach and mushrooms and all that. So we're going to have a nice hot meal here before we continue our journey south. Anyway, we'll pick you up in a minute because this will get cold otherwise. Oh, well done. There we go. How are you feeling now?
Feel much better. I had a bit of a migraine just before, so...
You've had a paracetamol.
A couple of paracetamols, a hearty hot meal cooked by Sarah, and yeah, I feel much better now, ready for the drive on.
So yeah, if you caught us on the last video, we mentioned that we were obviously quite worried about the van, and our plans have sort of changed a little bit now. We don't feel like we can just go driving off to explore and see places. We've actually spoke to a guy north of Birmingham in Staffordshire who's going to take a look at the van for us in a few days time. So yeah, we're sort of heading down to Chester, and then we'll be moving on to this guy. And hopefully he can give us some good news or just any news.
So the travel plans may or may not happen. They may be swapped for looking for a new van.
I know. It's very difficult at the moment because it's hard to focus on like filming vlogs and travel and anything really, because it's just all about like the van and, you know, our little home and what's going to happen next. So we came to the Peak District for lunch today. We thought, oh, you know, we'll have lunch here and we'll go for a walk here and all that kind of thing. But then we're now here and it's like, oh, you know, we've been for a very short walk with the dogs, but we don't really feel like doing anything. We don't feel like exploring because it's just on our minds what's going to happen next with the van.
It is difficult to get motivated, and as well, obviously it's the winter, but when you wake up in the morning and it's peeing down with rain, you don't be like, yes, let's get up, let's go and see the sunrise, because you can't see the sunrise.
Yeah, we've had plenty of days of bad weather. It's the van, isn't it? It's not knowing what's going to happen with the van, and now it just feels like this whole trip is going to have to be more focused on getting another van rather than travel, because this is a travel channel. Obviously that's what we do. We like to make videos showing places and sharing what we find on our adventures, but it just doesn't feel like we can, because yeah,
basically we have to get back to our base in Andalusia, and to do that we have to have a van. So there's no just getting on a flight, because obviously we've got the dogs. There's no, you know, we have to have a vehicle, and
we don't feel like we can take Vinny, unfortunately. We don't at no way can we drive 2,500 miles back down south in the van at the moment.
So we're positive. We still, obviously we love being in the van, you know. We've got the heater works, he's still driving around at the moment, we've got all the deckies up, we're feeling positive
about but there's that feeling that, you know, you start the engine, you get on the road, you drive, and you're just worried the whole time, basically. Now that's just the gist of it.
Sick of listening for sounds, aren't we? So,
yeah. But anyway, we better hit the road, because before we know it, it'll be dark again. Diz, we're going now. You're going to come and get in the front. Come on then. You going to stay in bed? Oh, right. Let's go.
See, he starts every time.
First time, always.
Time, every time. He's got that roar. It's just when he's not roaring, that's when the sound comes.
The car park got busy. Onto the motorway, the M60, but I don't know if it's picking up on the mic here, but the van's not running very well at all. It's like it's vibrating as well when we kind of go over 40 miles an hour, and we've got this whine coming from the back. It's just not very nice at all. Nick's just kind of driving and then sort of rolling out of gear as well to try and stop the deceleration type thing, because that's when it makes more noise. And yeah, it's a nightmare. It just basically feels like we're back to square one at the moment, which is just obviously a massive worry.
Every little journey's a goal, an achievement. I'm sick of saying that. Feels like that's the motto of this trip or something. It's all gone horribly wrong, isn't it? But we will come out victorious.
Yes, We will. One way or another, we will come out victorious.
Victorious.
Victorious, just don't know how yet. We're just basically pulled into a services, quick pee stop and give Vinny a break before continuing on. Oh gosh, stressful, isn't it? I feel like I've got the engine noise in my head.
I feel like I'm vibrating.
Vibrating because it's quite loud, you know, that with the whirling and then the vibrating in different gears, it sounds different. It's a nightmare really, this, isn't it?
You have to be a very highly skilled driver to drive Vinny at the moment. If
to make sure he doesn't, to make him sound as good as he can.
If someone broke into him and went, hey, I've got this van, they're going to be so disappointed
when they drive off.
Anyway, let's have a quick pit stop and then head off. Before we head off, I'd just like to take a moment to thank today's sponsor of the video, and that is the Ridge wallet. This little tiny minimalistic wallet is fantastic. I've been using it for a little while now and it's brilliant. It stores up to 12 cards. You've got a little clip and a belt for your money. It comes in loads of different designs and it takes up far less space than your old traditional wallet. It also comes with a matching key case which can store up to 6 keys, which means you're jangling free. If you're interested in getting your hands on one of these, they make the perfect Christmas gift. Go to ridge.com/the exPAWers. That's ridge.com/the exPAWers. Click the link in the description to get up to 40% off all their products.
Good morning, guys.
Or good afternoon.
Good afternoon. It's still morning, just about. And yep, you join us. Where are we? Staffordshire.
We're in Staffordshire. We
Yes.
went to Chester, spent time with Sarah's bro and his lovely family
For a few days, and now it's Judgment Day. Actually, we're on our way to a mechanic, a guy that reached out to us a little while back to find out Vinny's fate. Trying to continue to stay positive because that's what you have to do. And yeah, so we're heading over there now. I think we've got about 5 miles left to do. It's been such a misty, it's really cold today, isn't it?
It's the first really cold day, almost a frost. It's very, very fresh. It's starting to feel a bit like Christmas.
Yes, and it was a very misty drive all the way down here actually. I think the top temperature must only be about a couple of degrees today.
It's what you'd expect for winter in the UK,
That's
though,
what you'd expect, isn't it? In December, you know. So, yep, we'll see how this today pans out.
If he takes it to a test drive, he's going to go, oh my God, how did you drive it here?
Yeah, so it actually looks like and feels like it's going to snow. But I don't think it is. I don't think there's any snow forecast, but that's how it feels, don't you think?
Yeah.
Well, we made it.
So we've just arrived at Madford Engineering and our friend Mick is going to be the saviour of the day, hopefully.
Hello there.
How's it going,
Nick,
fella?
how you doing?
So yeah, what do you guys do here? What do you...
Right, we're not the average run-of-the-mill garage. We do a lot of one-off conversions, car builds, anything that other people say can't be done, we'll do it. Military vehicles, mainly Fords, old classics, Cosworths, RS Turbos, you name it, we'll build it. Anything that's a little bit weird and wacky, that's what we're all about.
I think this is the man to save Vinny. He can rebuild diffs in his sleep.
Absolutely.
As he said to us, and it's funny how you found us. How did you hear about us?
Well, we stream our workshop, all our shenanigans and our builds live on Twitch, and one of my subscribers and viewers told us about Nick and Sarah, that they got problems with the diff, so I reached out to this viewer and unfortunately didn't hear anything back. And the way the algorithm works on YouTube, Nick and Sarah's video happened to pop up with a transit in trouble with the diff, what's the chances that we've got 2 people with a transit diff that need work? So I reached out to the guys and that's it, they're here now.
And unfortunately he couldn't help us with our situation in Dover. We were stuck down there. We thought we got our fix, but then we're having issues now again, so hopefully he's going to be able to have a look at it. If anyone can, this man can, and hopefully get us back on the road. So fingers crossed for us, guys. Again, my fingers are hurting from crossing them so much. So we're just taking Vinny for a little test drive with Mick. It's not looking that good. Obviously he's gonna diagnose the problem, give us the verdict, and then we'll have to see where we go from there. But hopefully he's going to be able to sort the brakes out, primarily because brakes are always useful when you're driving a van around.
Brakes definitely need to be dealt with. There's far too much pedal travel. That doesn't feel good at all. And you can hear the diff.
It's safe though, Mum. I know how to drive the van, so for now it's safe. Don't worry. We're here now, so we'll be all right. So this is Mick's man cave, and what an incredible cave it is. It's crazy. You walk through it, he's got a huge workshop. You're walking through there, all the parts and stuff. And then he opens this front door, you come in here, puts the lights on, he's got a smoke machine.
Every boy's dream.
Every boy's dream. I think most man caves seen after this one would be a disappointment. You've got everything. You've got computer, you've got Action Man, little cars, got
Lego.
guns, not real guns, replicas.
Guns.
And yeah, Mick is such a sound guy. We took it for a test drive. I think we said during, he thinks he knows the problem. He's going to hopefully sort out our brakes for us. The different stuff he's just gonna, you know, take it apart, have a look at it,
and let us know what he thinks, and we're just gonna kind of go from there. So that's where we're at. So it's kind of,
well, he
positive.
said he's heard a lot worse. No, but he said positive is that he said he's heard a lot worse
sounding diffs than ours. Right, let's go down. Come on then, boys. Mick's got the heating on for us. Look at that thing.
See, it's damp under there.
Yeah.
So that shows the wheel cylinder's leaking. Yeah, that one's alright. What the f have they done that with? You want to be putting a lottery ticket on tonight?
What's going on, darling?
This is what's going on, majorly now.
Guys, we're just taking it for another test drive, and it looks like it's fixed. Can you believe that? This guy is a genius.
I'm not.
I mean, okay, well,
I just know transits.
he's a legend. He's the legend of all legends. Like, what's happened then?
Right,
What
okay,
has actually
so
happened?
on the initial road test, you guys probably heard it earlier that we'd got a massive amount of noise on overrun. So that's crown wheel and pinion not happy. So we started to remove the diff, and I happened to notice once the prop shaft was off that the pinion nut in the middle was finger tight, which isn't correct, obviously. So we've tightened it back up, put some Loctite on it, tightened it back up, and if you listen now
He's sounding like he's just test drove it quicker than we've driven for quite a while actually, and it's all smooth. I just can't believe some of the bolts for the drive shaft were ridiculously tight.
the prop shaft bolts were that tight, unbelievable.
And then and then one was just finger tight. I don't know who to blame. We're not naming any names, and we're in shock now. I thought it was going to be another case of looking for another axle going down that nightmare route.
That diff feels absolutely fine.
No.
It's fixed.
You're joking?
No.
It's fixed?
Yeah, it's
No, he just took it faster than we've driven for a long time.
It's completely silent. That's amazing! Oh, I can't believe it.
That's the face of shock. That is the face of shock.
Really? No word and no nothing?
Yeah.
Silent.
That's incredible.
I've just done 85 k's in it. Perfect.
Really? We haven't been that fast since we've had it.
I was holding onto my seatbelt.
Gosh, that's so cool.
Sweet.
Absolutely
In
amazing.
shock, in
We're
shock. Happy days.
That's it. Just play the brakes now. Oh yeah, got air coming out. Lots of air.
He's changed the brake cylinders at the back because they were leaking, and he's just bleeding the brakes. And from doing that, the front right brake had loads of air coming out, so that's not good, and the back left. So from that, it's a master cylinder. I'm talking like I know what I'm talking about. I don't. I'm just learning so much now. So now we're trying to get master cylinder, which is where the brake fluid goes into. Obviously, he makes everything sound easy, and he's a very positive person. We were until 3 weeks in Dover happened, and then we've lost a little bit of our positive shine, but fingers crossed we can get going. Well, we can get going now, we just can't stop.
Good morning, lovely people.
Good morning.
And how well did we sleep?
Really well, actually.
Well, you did.
Really well.
I didn't sleep that well.
So I had some weird dreams.
Weird, like not nightmares, but just weird dreams. I dreamt that I was from Halesowen, just randomly.
Did a DNA test and she was from Halesowen, not some far off, distant, exotic land.
So
Halesowen.
strange. And then, what else did I dream?
Halesowen's about, 5 miles from where my folks live in Stourbridge.
No, seriously now, guys.
And broke a laptop. She was very active in the night, but I'm surprised you're not exhausted.
I woke up so many times.
She's just weird.
Just weird.
Anyway, yeah, it's all good. Like yesterday, I think we explained everything that's happened here. We had to get the master brake cylinder. So Mick jumped online, was Googling it. Yeah, he phoned a lot of contacts and they don't make it anymore, so we couldn't get it. Went on eBay, there was ones, some cheap ones, 40 quid. There's one somewhere for 150. They're trying to rip people off,
and it was
aren't they?
also going to take a few days to get here, and we can't go anywhere without this. It needs to be fixed, isn't it? The brake's not working at all. But luckily,
Mick knows people.
He does.
He's the man who knows a lot and a lot of people.
Yeah,
and
it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Definitely.
Or with him, it's what you know and who you know. Yeah, so he
sorted it for us, and it's coming today. Ordered it yesterday. It's coming today, some point this morning, hopefully.
And then we should be all good, and Vinny's gonna live on for another fantastic voyage.
Fantastic voyage.
Fantastic.
Not fantastic voyage. How many coffees have you had? It's instant, innit? I don't know what we're doing with the instant.
I know, we need to get back
Should
on
be
the
back on the Italian coffees.
We've got lazy, I think.
With Baileys, with white chocolate Baileys.
Yes, because it's
not in the morning.
Starting to look a lot like Christmas, so it's getting close to Christmas.
Yeah.
We haven't even got our Christmas jumpers on.
I know. When we're back on the road, I'll have my Christmas jumper on.
Boom.
This is my work outfit, or watching people work outfit.
Yeah.
Hear the beep?
So you don't over tighten them.
Wow. Look how shiny that part is there. It's very shiny. Let me just think what it's called again. The Oh, remind me.
She'll get it in a minute. Give her time.
Oh gosh.
Go make yourself a
Cylinder.
cup of
The
tea or
head
something.
cylinder. That is.
Master.
Master cylinder. Yeah. And it's very shiny. Isn't it?
Morning.
Morning. How are you?
Morning for you, isn't it?
Oh wow. Come on. I have been working all morning. Never been laying in bed in there, you know.
So we're on the final test drive after Nick has sorted out quite a lot of our little imperfections, shall we say, and yeah, he's driving sweet as a nut. Yeah, the brakes seem to be working better than ever, so it's looking good. So yeah, very happy with the result, and we've been in less than 24 hours or something. It's crazy what these wizards, these magicians have done to the van. But I'm gonna let Mick just talk you through what he's done for us, because he's better at doing it, let's face it, than us. And for those people who might be worried about our future travels, Mick's just gonna yeah, just go through how he's made it a little bit safer.
Okay, so Nick and Sarah's initial thoughts that the back axle was failing due to the noise that it was making on overrun. Upon investigation, we found the pinion nut on the centre of the pinion was actually finger tight. So we've tightened that back up with a bit of Loctite. That's cured that. The diff's quiet. We found 2 leaking wheel cylinders on the rear axle, so we've replaced them. When we came to bleed the brakes, we found that the right-hand circuit, which feeds our driver's front and passenger rear, we couldn't get the air out of the system. It was just constantly got air in it. So that shows that the master cylinder was down the Swanee. So we've replaced the master cylinder, rebled the brakes. The brakes are perfect now. There's no excess travel, no air. We've adjusted the handbrake, replaced the rear exhaust rubber.
Thank you, Mick. You're an absolute legend.
You're welcome.
Of all legends. And Matt, I think Matt was helping him out, giving the helping hand, and to the rest of the guys. And to this fella who's been giving the dogs treats. He didn't do anything around the garage, apparently.
No, I did nothing. I just built campers.
Only joking. He's got a nice little camper. He gave us a tour around the other day, which he did from scratch. This is his other one he's working on. So if we do have to get a new van, we'll just get him to sort it out.
Get us to do one.
Anyway, yeah, we're gonna get back on the road, and we'll see you, yeah, wherever we end up today.
And just like that, Vinny, we are back on the road and sounding better than ever. Oh, Nick's having a really good time driving right now.
Loving it. Over the last few days, I've just learned to keep testing my brakes all the time and accelerate constantly and smoothly, or not at all, or just take it out of gear. Now I can just drive like most normal people do.
Yeah,
it's amazing, like a new van.
We'll get away to a place where we don't know.
Happy van!
Happy van, welcome back to a happy van. Christmas has come early for us. We've got our Vinster back.
I'm still in absolute shock about what's happened. We honestly thought that was it, back to square one, the diff was gone, and then just, you know, Mick and the team have sorted us out. It was just that loose bolt, can you believe it?
Can't believe it. So no more looking for a new van. Vinster lives on.
It's fate. We're going to be with Vinny forever.
Anyway, thank you to everyone for all the suggestions and advice.
Yeah, after last week's video.
Yeah, really, very much appreciated. But yeah, Vinny is living on. We're taking him on more adventures.
Yeah. So we're just back now with Nick's folks for a day or two, and then we're going on a little trip, a little adventure. So if you want Mick's details, we'll leave them in the description box. Great guys there, they'll sort you out, anything you need. They're like Transformers as well, aren't they? They can do.
They're like Transformers, like the robots in disguise. No, they just make vans from scratch, make cars from scratch, so incredible.
Get in contact, leave their details, give them a follow or whatever. And guys,
yeah, head on over to Twitch to follow them on Twitch.
Yeah, and guys, we're going to end it now. So thank you so much for watching. It really is a happy ending here, and we'll see you all next week on another adventure.
Don't forget to subscribe and follow us on our other socials.
Yep.
See you next week. Take care. Keep warm.